Hi, my name is Sigurdur Gylfi Magnusson, and I'm going to introduce a new book published now in the fall of 2016 by Routledge called Minor Knowledge and Microhistory, Manuscript Culture in the 19th Century, which my friend and fellow historian from the University of Iceland, David Olafsson, wrote with me. It's being published in a book series called Routledge Studies in Cultural History. In this book, significance is placed on connecting and comparing the different schools of thought that have, in recent years, each in its own way, worked on re-examining the status and effect of scribal culture in the modern period. We, for example, look at the School of New Literacy Studies, which has, especially since the 1990s, re-examined the concept of literacy in past and present, with focus on concepts such as agency, practices, and experience. To make a long story short, recent years have seen an awakening among scholars regarding the importance of material found in manuscripts throughout the modern period, that is, from around 1500 to the present day. In one country after another, efforts have been made to explore the roots of these practices, how the phenomena first took root, and what were the conditions in which it flourished. It has been demonstrated that manuscript culture played a vital role in the dissemination of knowledge in the most diverse field of human life, in politics and peasant writings, as well as grassroots resistance, to name but a few. By this, we aim to study procedures, experience, and content of everyday literacy practice beyond the realm of and perspectives of national and local history. Rather than engaging in and comparing different countries or regions, we try to view and study early modern and modern manuscript culture as a transnational or transregional practice, giving agency to its ordinary participants and attention to hitherto overlooked source material. This phenomena of scribal practice after the advent of print has given rise to flourishing scholarship both in Europe and beyond over the past 25 years, which has been an important role model for our study. The research methods applied in this book are the same as are used in microhistory all over the world, or at least we adapt the methods of microhistory to the scholarship of vernacular literacy studies, which opened up new and exciting territories in our research. It can provide opportunities for discussions about the past and the level of what we have termed in-between spaces, gray areas that open up between the institutions themselves and the people connected with them, rather than simply assuming that communications between the two are always one way from the institutions to the people, who as a result become almost passive tools in their hands, devoid of will. We have identified a discourse within the society that takes place in the area which we call in-between spaces. Using this approach, we have managed to distinguish ways that made it possible for ordinary people to exert a genuine influence on the workings of institutions through their ideas and actions. This is what we have shown in the book, that the activities of popular scribes in Icelandic peasant culture were an essential factor in the education and culture of the people, working in parallel with the institutions that ostensibly directed these areas of society, each influencing and being influenced by others. Our argument is a revisionist one, which has included an emergent emphasis on agency as the capacity of individuals to act within the social structure that seems to limit or influence the opportunities that the individual have. These restraints come in the form of categories such as class, gender, and ethnicity on one hand, and societal institutions on the other, for instance, the state, the church, and the educational system. Our argument is somewhere between the two poles of social structure and individual agency. There we have found the third dimension in the shape of informal rhizomic networks between individuals and texts that are connected in a non-linear or non-authorial manner, which connects in every direction without having any center, core, or stem. We have addressed in the book the procedures of institutional and vernacular literacy in Iceland, as well as emotional connections between everyday life, work, and education. We have explored in depth the practices of small networks of self-educated scribes, lay scholars, and popular poets. These 5 men who are the main focus of the book, but the group is actually larger, were born between 1840 and 1878 and lived for the most part in the Western Fjords area in Iceland as farmers, fishermen, or laborers. All lacked formal education, economic means, and social positions, but managed nevertheless to dedicate much of their time and effort to literacy practices of diverse kind, and themselves produced an impressive volume of handwritten material of various sorts, including substantial diaries. These serve as an impressive testimony of vernacular literacy practices among self-educated people of the lower strata of society, while also providing substantial evidence of other activities of that kind, both individually and collectively within the group and beyond. We are of the opinion that historians have not been able to capture the essence of this cultural development within the traditional theoretical framework. Our task was to challenge the conventional view by presenting an argument that was both contextual and methodological in nature. We attempted to broach the main question of inquiry: how, why, and what did the peasantry in Iceland and in other countries read and write in the 18th and the 19th centuries? We hope you get an opportunity to check out our book. Thank you.